We just love basil. Eating tomato and basil and mozzarella sandwiches. Basil means summer, and we've been growing basil for a long time. I've developed some strategies to make your basil the most productive and get the greatest amount of harvest. So stay tuned. We're going to talk about power pruning basil next. We grow a lot of basil in different varieties, and behind me, in between our tomato rows, there's a lot of Genovese and large Italian leaf basil. This one happens to be a cinnamon basil right here, and you treat them the same. So let's take a look. First of all, when a basil, as a basil is growing, it's going to start flowering. Never let your basil flower if you want it to continue to grow and produce a lot of leaf material for you. Because as soon as it starts flowering, it's going to slow down. It could even stop growing. You can rejuvenate it, and these techniques work great for rejuvenation too. This particular basil wasn't off to a good start, and it got into the ground a little bit late. It was rainy and wet, and it didn't set its feet real good. But now we've been just pruning the heck out of it, and it's coming along great. The one thing that I learned most of all is don't be afraid to prune. Pruning instills growth in a plant. Therefore, I like to use the motto, give me a reason not to prune rather than try and find a reason to prune. And now basil, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clip off the flower. And actually, let me take a larger piece off here for you and come up close to the camera. If you can see in the union here, there's a leaf hanging out this way and hanging out this way. And we got a flower here on top. And if we cut the flower off right here, it's going to cause these two leaves to shoot up into new branches. Amazing. Now, if we go through the whole plant and we judiciously just go around and cut all the flowers off, that's the very first thing we want to do to a basil. And we want to do this as often as it's flowering. Let me go down in here and let's get a branch off. Let's take the full branch off. And let's take a look at this. Now we can see it was originally cut right here, and it sprouted this branch, and it sprouted this branch. And I missed it. I didn't cut it off here, but now we've gone ahead and we've cut it off here, and it sprouted this branch, and it sprouted this branch. But actually, it sprouted on this side too and this side too. So we ended up with one stem turned into two stems, turned into 4 stems, and as the basil continues to grow, and we snip it off here, right at that same, you don't have to wait until it flowers, you can just force it to bush out. While that's on the plant, continue to clip off those, and this will grow into 2 more, 2 more, 2 more, 2 more, and then we'll have 8 stems. That's how prolific basil is. And realistically, I'm going to take these bottom leaves off right here. Take that off. And I'm going to put that in water. And it's going to root. It's going to start growing roots here. And I can go ahead and plant this in another position. Now this one, as basil gets older, it starts to get woody. So this is a little bit tough, but I think it'll be fine and it'll continue to root. So just remember, power pruning basil, cut it as much and as often as you can. Just go up, clip off those leaves right at the top of the crotch, and it's going to develop more and more and more stems. Always remember, cut off your flowers if you want it to continue to grow, or grow enough basil so that you can let some of your basil plants go to flower. It's great for attracting bees. Pretty amazing how prolific basil will be if you grow it correctly and prune it constantly. You could be making pesto, you can be eating tomato and basil and mozzarella sandwiches all summer long. Stay tuned, we're going to do a power pruning peppers and show you how to get the most harvest out of your peppers It's basically treated the same way as this basil, except there's a couple of other little techniques with that one. When that video will be coming out in the next few days, so we'll put a link below. So give us a thumbs up if you haven't already. Subscribe. Remember, this is the year of the giveaways. Borage is the plant of the month for June. We'll be giving 10 lucky people borage seeds to grow borage on their own in their garden. So make it over to that video. The link will be in the description below. And go ahead and make a comment. I'd love some borage too, and at the end of the month, we'll go ahead and use a random comment generator and pick 10 lucky winners and send them some borage seeds. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and remember, most of all, come grow with us.